TWM podcast.
Final show before Survivor Series, so let's lay down some smack talk. Yes, it's me, I'm back. It's Kymmie A giving you your weekly review of SmackDown Live. This is a TWM podcast bringing you wrestling content 6 days a week. That's a lot, guys. Like, come on, we're amazing. You can get us on Apple and Google Podcasts, Acast, Spotify, TuneIn, Podbean, YouTube, and anywhere else podcasts can be downloaded. Smack Talk is brought to you by the fantastic Squared Circle Box, your monthly dose of wrestling swag. And don't forget to use the code TWM News for 10% off your order at squaredcirclebox.com. Joining me as we talk all things Blue Brand is Rhys Thomas. How are you, Rhys?
Thanks, Kymmie. Absolute pleasure to be here and discuss all things from the Blue Brand.
Blue Brand. We like blue. Is it our favourite colour? We don't know, but we're going to talk about it. Right, let's get into last night's episode of SmackDown. So, unless you live under a rock, you obviously know that Frozen 2 has just been released in cinemas, but Frozen 1 told us that love is an open door, but apparently, according to Roman Reigns, Kate is an open door. And he was just like, no, do you know what? We're just going to open the door and let all three rosters come in. Come on, guys. We'll just have a fight. No, it's only Survivor Series on Sunday. But honestly, how good was this for a go-home show, Rhys?
Yeah, like what a way to start the show as well. Yeah.
It was just, I mean, this is one of the best go-home shows I've seen in a while. It's been a while since we've had a good go-home show. Let's be serious. I'm not gonna lie about it. But it was also a very good show considering NXT on Wednesday kind of was like, right, this is how you've got to go now. You've either got to top it, you've either got to become equal, but did you really think they were going to be equal or top NXT from Wednesday?
Yeah, NXT was incredible, and then, you know, as you said, they set the standard really high, and then I think SmackDown just about met that. Like, it was an incredible show.
It was. I really enjoyed it. So then, obviously, we had like the bit at the beginning. I mean, obviously, King Corbin was not happy with Roman, but who likes Corbin? Because everyone knows I do not. So whatever, don't care. And then obviously you had Sasha Banks come out, and Sasha Banks was on fire. She was literally just like, "Look, I ain't waiting. You want me now? Come talk to me. Come have a chat. It'd be nice, wouldn't it?" And then in comes the Queen, in quote marks, because she calls herself the Queen. Charlotte Flair comes down, it's like, I'll give you a fight. And then out of nowhere, NXT are like, nah, we'll do this now. We'll have a cat versus cat match. And what did you think of that match?
Yeah, it was really cool to see. You know, like, first of all, you think Charlotte and Sasha, that's a match that's main evented pay-per-views before, you know, like, that's a big deal. And then to have Rhea thrown in the mix as well, you know, really cool. And then, like, I think, as Matty and George were saying on Wednesday, in years to come, when Rhea is on main roster, main eventing shows, you look back at this moment and say, like, well, this is where it all started out.
Yeah. She fit in so perfectly. Like, you've had matches in the past, I won't go into detail, but where, like, an NXT superstar has entered kind of like a main roster match and it hasn't really worked, but she kind of just seemed to be like, right, I'm here, I'm going to slot into this match. And she really made it seem like she'd belonged there the whole time.
Yeah, it's like all these guys from NXT, they're getting this opportunity that they maybe wouldn't have anyway, so they really want to step up to it. So they're, you know, it really feels like they're putting their everything into it to try and impress, and they are doing that so far.
I agree. I do agree. But then we had the moment of all moments. Okay, so after this match, Ripley won. So that was a big I did not see that coming at all. Did you see that coming?
No, and it seemingly came out of nowhere as well. I was, to be honest, expecting another DQ kind of no finish kind of match, but she just kind of snuck in and like literally stole the victory.
That is the best way to do it. And I think Ripley was the correct choice to win that. It would have been cool to see it end in kind of like a no contest type thing, but at the same time, having Ripley win against two very, very good wrestlers everyone knows normally wins matches, Ripley's just like, no, do you know what? I'm here. And now I'm going to take it from you. Put the crown on my head. It's probably fair to say SmackDown and Raw are, in terms of, how big a superstars the roster are, they're probably like a bit ahead of NXT, but having NXT like get a win like this on the go home show, like it really puts them on that sort of level playing field, gives you that feeling anything can happen at Survivor Series. Exactly, and that is the best way to go into a pay-per-view, not knowing what's going to happen. But then we came to one of my favourite parts of the night, which is absolutely crazy Sami Zayn running around with a black bag. I honestly had no idea what was in that bag. I was literally just like, oh, maybe it's some confetti. Maybe he was going to get a bit excited. He was going to have like blue confetti for SmackDown or something. Did you see the new Intercontinental title coming? I heard rumblings there was going to be a new belt. I didn't know which belt it was going to be, or I kind of thought after they'd switched the Universal title belt, that would be it. But I didn't expect them to change the Intercontinental title at all. But the new title looks incredible. I am not really a fan of it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it at the same time. I think it just looks, I don't know, it sounds really silly to say, but to me it looks plasticky. I know what you mean. It looks kind of, it's very generic. There's nothing sort of stand out about it, but when you see it, you're like, so the current, not the current title, the one immediately before, it's got a different coloured strap. It's a different shape to most titles. So when you see it, you immediately know it's the IC title. Yeah. This one's maybe a bit more, I don't want to say generic looking because that sounds bad, but it's kind of a bit more like, normal looking of a belt. Yeah. No, I agree completely. It doesn't stand out as its own like unique belt. That's what. So also, sorry, just to interrupt there because I've just remembered something. Apparently, according to rumours online, there is a second new belt that's about to be revealed. What one do you think it should be, or do you think needs to be changed? The Universal title again? Yeah, I agree. Bring back Big Gold. Yes, I agree. I'm not a fan of that one either. I think it needs to be bigger. It needs to be more, what's the word? I guess unique. It needs to be more unique. Is the word I'm looking for. I think. Yeah, I think that is the way forward. Or could it be if Daniel Bryan is about to win and bring back his eco-friendly title? I really like that title because it was unique. It looked really, in some ways it looked bad, but in other ways it was so unique and so different to what we're used to. It was brilliant. Do you know, I loved it so much, I bought a wooden watch because I was like, that title just looks incredible. I want everything from now on to be wooden. So I got a wooden watch, a wooden earring. Just love the wood. Oh, no. Speaking of Daniel Bryan, he came out to the ring and summoned Bray, but Bray didn't answer the call. Miz did. Now, these two, I absolutely love these two, and them two together absolutely have the most amazing chemistry between two wrestlers ever. I could watch these over and over again and not get bored. Yeah, these two will just forever be enemies. I'm trying to think of it, like Sammy and Kevin, apart from they were mates lately. I agree. But I guess Bray Wyatt, or the Fiend as we'll call him, did answer the call because he replaced The Miz in the match and then basically clawed out Bryan. I still don't. I like this character for Bray, but I don't like looking at him because he actually does scare me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I really don't like the mask at all. It really, really creeps me out. I really don't like it. But I think this match at Survivor, do you think Bryan's going to take home the belt?
Oh, not at all. Like, I wouldn't have a problem if he did, but I think currently The Fiend is the most over superstar. Well, like, maybe apart from Becky Lynch is the exception to that, but The Fiend is the most popular person they've had for years, and I think they'd be an absolute clown to let that go. I could see The Fiend being champion until Mania, probably, if beyond.
Definitely, I agree. And it wouldn't be a bad thing to have him. I think it'd be a very good... Imagine his entrance in WrestleMania.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, I don't want to watch it because it'll scare me. I'll have nightmares for days.
Do you think the red light in like a 80,000 arena?
Oh my God, no, I can't handle it. I won't be able to handle it. I'll be the one hiding under a cushion when that happens because I genuinely do not like the mask.
This podcast, and indeed all TWM podcasts, are brought to you by SquaredCircleBox.com, the only place for your monthly wrestling box needs. With things from superstars from WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, British Wrestling, Independent Wrestling, and loads more, it is the only place that matters if you want to get the best wrestling swag for a low, low price. That low, low price is just £25, people. What a bargain! And you can get snapbacks, t-shirts, magazines, DVDs, trinkets, whatchamacallit, doodads, you name it, they have it each and every month. And just because you listen to TWM, you sexy, sexy people, you get 10% off your first order. All you got to do is use the code TWM News in the checkout. Just use the code TWM News in the checkout for 10% off your first order at SquaredCircleBox.com.
Why not spread? I said, why not spread the gospel of the TWM squad with some of our lovely merch over at Teespring? We have t-shirts for all shapes and sizes, hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, stickers, and loads more. Also, just for listening to this podcast, you can get 10% off your order. I said using the code podcast. That's podcast. Once again, podcast in the checkout for 10% off at teespring.com/stores/TWM-wrestling-merch. That's right. Praise. Testify.
So sorry, I completely missed this match out because we were talking about Daniel Bryan. But Undisputed Era over the New Day and Heavy Machinery, I mean, they are still booking them as untouchable. Like, they are absolutely untouchable. But, I mean, there's a reason for it. They are absolute freaking beasts of men. But this match proper got me into it. Like, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, you could say they're undisputed on the main roster, but yeah, they're definitely giving these guys a big push going into Survivor Series. They're looking untouchable at the moment.
Yeah, no, they genuinely are. But can we just talk about Tucker's moonsault? Oh my God, that was literally the highlight from my match, was him doing the moon. I was gobsmacked. I love it when massive guys do big moves. It makes me really happy.
Yeah, didn't see that coming at all, and it was a kind of a bit different to moonsaults I've seen before him, but he kind of did the full rotation kind of. I don't know how to describe it. It didn't look like a normal moonsault that you'd normally see, but that's not to say it was bad or anything. Like, it was good, but didn't expect that.
No.
Yeah, I'm always a big fan as well, like you said, of when someone who isn't known to go from the top rope, and they, in a match when they feel like they've got to throw everything at it, they sometimes do go up the top rope and whack something out. Like, a big fan of when that happens.
It makes me more excited when you see someone. So I think, I'm sure when we was at Progress, the first ever time I saw Keith Lee, I think it was Keith Lee, and he did a moonsault, and I literally, Matt will tell you, it was the funniest thing ever, because he just watched my reaction as opposed to the actual match, because I absolutely love it, because you see these big guys and it's like, oh, they can't do a moonsault, they can't do this, they can't do that, and they're like, watch me, and they just do it, and I'm just like, I pop hugely for it, because I just think it's great that there's people out there that just like, shove it up you, I'm going to do it, and you can watch me and be gobsmacked, and I genuinely am. I believe they can do it.
You know what I think one of the biggest shames like in wrestling is at Mania 19 when Brock botched the shooting star press, because I think if he'd have hit that and that would have finished the match, like that would have just been perfect.
Yes. Oh my god, I want to actually go back and watch that now. I forgot about that match. I need to go back, but I can because I've got the network. Anyway, so after weeks of Baszler attacking Bayley from behind, Shayna Baszler actually did come out finally to the ring and was like, Bayley, come on, like, I'm sick of attacking you from behind. I'll come and see you to your face. Come and see me to my face. And then a complete flip of turns, because Bayley's like, how about no? And attacks her from behind. And it absolutely starts this massive brawl between the two, which I did enjoy, but I feel like I was kind of waiting for Becky to make an entrance.
Yeah, I think that seems to be what the crowd were expecting as well. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a bad thing that Becky didn't enter, but I think because it's Survivor Series and because we're going to see a three-way match between these three, you kind of expected Becky to show up and just, even if it was just at the end and just like knock their heads together and they fell to the ground and Becky was standing, something to kind of like entice it. Because at the minute, it's just kind of like, all right, Shayna and Bayley are having a feud, like, let's go. And then Becky's going to stand there in the corner like, all right, bye.
Yeah, and with Shayna and Bayley currently both probably like the top heel on their respective brands. So I guess if Bayley would have come out, there would have been a massive pop for that as well, like being the only sort of face in this.
Exactly. But then on to our main event of the evening with the shitty graphics that Matty hates. I'm actually really starting to not like these. The Roman Reigns one is actually god awful. I can't look a massive like 3D dog on my screen. It's just like I really don't like it. Anyway, Shorty G, Roman Reigns and Mustafa Ali versus Dolph Ziggler, King Corbin, and Bobby Roode. So this match, I don't think it was necessary for a go-home show of Survivor Series, but it wasn't. I didn't really enjoy it as much as I wanted to, except the ending of it.
Yeah, the ending was incredible. I'm not really sure. It's kind of interesting how they're kind of pushing the whole Roman against Baron Corbin feuds, even though they're supposed to be teammates. I kind of wonder whether... I say one turn on the other, it would probably be Corbin turning on Roman on Sunday. Maybe as like an excuse to get Roman out of a match because, you probably don't want him losing clean. So I guess if Corbin turns on him, it's a way of getting him eliminated, but still looking strong.
Yeah, they have a habit. I think that's why I don't like Corbin so much.
He's a snake.
Yeah, I don't like it. Plus, his bald head really creeps me out. I've not got nothing against bald people, but I don't know what it is. He's just got a really big head. He looks like Megamind. Who he reminds me of.
He looks so much better bald than when he had the long hair.
Though. 100%. When he had that, oh my god, that hair was awful. I definitely agree. It's definitely better bald, but I just really don't like Baron Corbin. I don't know what it is. I just really, really don't. Oh, sorry, King Corbin. Sorry, I do apologise. But anyway, King Corbin took home the win. He took home the win. But then I was a bit like, and then it was just like, well, actually, here comes Seth Rollins and the Raw team. And I'm just like, all right, okay. And then, a brawl happened first. I forgot about that. It was a little bit of a brawl. And then Raw came out. And then Rollins gets in the ring and he's facing off with Roman. And I'm like, oh no, it's going to kick off. And then it did kick off. And they're all getting on each other and fighting. And then the lost locker room was just like, no, you know what? No, you're not. You're not going to come in here on our territory and start a fight. So all the SmackDown locker room come, and then about 2 minutes later on the screen, you just see NXT coming along on a, what was that? Was it a Jeep or a tank? I couldn't know. Was it a Jeep?
Yeah, it was some kind of vehicle.
Some kind of military vehicle, anyway. So they come in and they're just like, nah. And then we had one of my favourite parts, which was Braun Strowman and Keith Lee just pushing boys out the way like they're snowballs, and they're deflecting them, and they're just facing off against each other. This is a match I want to see. It is a feud I want to see. Why are WWE not giving me it yet? If they are teasing me and they don't do it, I'm going to kick off.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how prominently Keith Lee has been featured in this whole feud. Like at the end of each show, he's the one that's kind of standing tall at the end from Team NXT.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd love to see him sort of get more involved. Like a lot of the NXT guys, I want to stay on NXT just because I think it's a better show and I like having them there. But at the same time, Keith Lee is one of those who, if he moved to the main roster, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be worried about that at all, because I think they'd probably book him well, like have him up in the main event in feuds against guys like Strowman. Yes,
and we would all appreciate it, WWE, if you are listening. We're probably not, but we would appreciate it if you were. So on Sunday, obviously we've got loads of matches, and we have the main match, which is Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT. We know the Raw team. We know the SmackDown team. We still have no idea who the NXT team are.
Yeah, and it's weird with NXT as well, because their roster is, a bit more fluid than the other. Like, so Raw and SmackDown are very clearly defined. NXT, you've kind of got the people on the NXT weekly show. You've got the people from NXT UK who are seemingly aligned to NXT in this feud. You've got kind of people from the Performance Center who may not necessarily be on NXT every week, but they align themselves with NXT. Yeah, so you kind of have to wonder if they're playing mind games as well, just Raw and SmackDown showing their hands, NXT just kind of going in. They know who they're going to pick, but the other teams don't.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I feel like they are teasing us a little bit. With the Women's Survivor Series match, again, we know Raw, we know SmackDown, we don't know NXT, but did they tease us by giving us the 5 they gave us on Friday, which was Rhea Ripley, Tegan Nox, Mia Yim, and Candice LeRae? But there was another person in there, Toni Storm. Toni Storm was there. And I was a bit like, what is happening? Toni, as far as I'm aware, is booked to perform at Progress this Sunday against Ginny. So are they going to do a stupid, do your match, go, and get on a plane to America, to Chicago, which is not a short trip? I've been on that plane. Or are they just teasing us with these 5? Like, these are the 5 that are going to be in the match. Are they not going to be in the match? You don't know. You'll find out Sunday. What do you think?
It's hard to say, because it could really go either way. If I had to predict, I'd kind of say maybe they're just giving her the chance to come and be on SmackDown for the show, like kind of knowing, she won't be in the match on Sunday, but at least she's had some involvement in this. It's a good opportunity for her. Like, she's still young and learning. But it's really hard to call as well with War Games the night before. So I guess a lot of what happens depends on who wins that. I kind of wonder if Team Baszler win War Games, perhaps Rhea Ripley would ask, people from that team to be on Team NXT. I don't know. It's a really tough one to call. It's really interesting. I
do like the fact that we don't know. I like that more. I think it's kind of like a surprise type thing. Like, we don't know who's going to be on this team. I mean, we have a pretty good idea who's going to be on the teams, but we don't know for definite. And I think that makes the pay-per-view more exciting, because you're kind of like, right, well, we know how they wrestle. We know how they wrestle. We've seen them wrestle before. But who have they picked to defeat these amazing wrestlers that we know and love from the main roster? It's going to be a good show, guys. It's going to be a really good show. But sadly, that does it for this week's episode of Smack Talk. If you want to keep across everything we do, all of our social medias are at TWM Wrestle. We'll be doing an NXT TakeOver and Survivor Series predictions live tonight on Twitch. The link is twitch.tv/ you guessed it, TWM Wrestle at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. tonight, guys. So come and join us. Check out TWM for written predictions on War Games and Survivor Series, as well as great articles on AEW, British wrestling, women's wrestling, of course, which is the best, and loads more. Rhys, what is your social media so people can follow you?
So my Twitter is at Rhys Teddy.
Rhys Teddy. He's a little teddy. Anyway, please follow me. My link is at Kymmie A on all social media platforms. But thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week.